This is just not the same elite Iowa defense that we have gotten in years past here. Well, everyone was so focused on the offense being better. Well, I mean, it couldn't have got any worse. You average more than 3 points a game, you got a better offense. Congratulations, Iowa. Let's celebrate mediocrity. But Washington is actually, I think, better than people have given it credit for. Tough place to play coming there in Iowa. What do you think we're going to get?
Well, I'll start by saying I'm just thankful that I wasn't assigned to break down and analyze a giant cock. Leave that to my two predecessors there to do the job. I don't know if a Hawkeye fits into that category, but I'm not going to go there because I'm no expert in that stuff. Maybe a giant cock has a Hawkeye. Who knows? I'm going to start this way. Could you play 3 more mirror image-like teams in a row than Washington is going to play when they face Iowa? I mean, you went to Rutgers, played Rutgers, flew home, played Michigan, fly again, go play Iowa. They're the same team in different uniforms. It's unbelievable. I mean, each of the same, pound and establish the run, play tight physical defense. So Washington certainly has seen their share of so-called Big Ten football already this season. Will the travel schedule start to wear on them, Joe? It's kind of early still, but again, all the way to Piscataway. Or, Piscataway is Rutgers. East Rutherford is the Giants. Then back to the Pacific Northwest. Now into Iowa City to play an 11 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Pacific time game. Maybe the schedule's a little rough. Can they handle 3 straight extreme physical matchups without a break in between? It's tough to line up and pound it out in the trenches with these teams 3 weeks in a row. Maybe a bye week would have been nice, but still, it's early in the season, maybe not. I'll agree with you this way. Washington may be a lot better than people think. I mean, I'm never, ever pushing Jed Fish in this first year as a head coach in college, because I think his playbook is a little extreme. It's hard for guys to get a grasp of. It took Arizona a year, but they got it. It seems like Washington with a new group has gotten it really quickly. Against Rutgers, 314 passing yards, 207 rushing yards. Who does that against Rutgers? 521 for the game, almost 8 a pop. Last week against Michigan, 315 passing yards, 114 on the ground, 429 total, 6.3 a pop. And their defense was great as well. Only give up 299 total yards to Rutgers, only give up 287 to Michigan. That puts them, I know Ralph Michaels, our buddy colleague, likes to use these differential numbers, plus 222 total yard differential the last 2 weeks against Rutgers and Michigan. That is a large, large number. I think the key here is the passing game. Will Rogers, the Mississippi State transfer, has come in and lit it up. And both of those games against those two teams, they're identical. 315 and 314 passing. Why not 315 again against Iowa? And the defense held those other two teams that can't throw the football, right? Michigan can't throw it. Rutgers can't throw it. They only got 115 and 113 respectively. Cade McNamara and Iowa really don't throw it. So it sets up really well for this team. Will Rogers, 47 of 67, 70% completions, 4 TDs, only 1 pick in those 2 games. I could go on and on about these numbers, but I'll add this. To your point, Joe, of Iowa maybe not being the same elite type defense, against these 3 teams this year, Iowa State, Minnesota, and Ohio State, let's leave Illinois State and Troy out of the equation.
Yep.
They only have 7 quarterback hurries and 1 sack against 3 good teams. I mean, if you're not going to pressure Will Rogers, he gets rid of it so quick, you're probably going to be in a little bit of trouble. They faced a Greg Schiano defense. They faced a Wink Martindale pressure-style defense. I know Phil Parker's good, but is he any better than those 2 guys? I don't think so. So all the fundamentals to me come up Washington. Again, the scary part here is this fatigue issue. Could travel fatigue hurt them? Could physical fatigue hurt them? Could emotional fatigue? You just played a rematch of the national championship. Could that hurt them? It keeps me off the side. But it won't keep me off the total, Joe. This thing's low and probably too low. Because like you said, Iowa's somewhat a reversal, right? They're a little better offensively. They're a little worse defensively. And how about this? Rutgers, in the Rutgers game, that game got to 39 points. Why did it only get to 39 points? UW missed 3 field goals, had a turnover on downs at the Rutgers 2, had a turnover on downs at the Rutgers 37. They probably should have got reasonably 6 to 10 more. Puts that over the number we're asking for here. Last week, they get the 44 against Michigan, over the number we're asked for here. Iowa's got 1 defensive touchdown all season long. You know what that means? That means they're scoring. They've scored 95 points against decent teams, and only 1 was a defensive score. So the offense is doing it. I think over the total here, Joe, 42 is probably a safer way to go. Rodgers continues on, and Iowa probably gets enough to get this thing over.
It was 3, and now it's 2.5. And I'm with you, Rob. I mean, the numbers tell me Washington's a better team. If it wasn't for Kurt Ferentz after a loss being 48-26-2 against the number, I don't know who the hell's betting Iowa. I mean, that's really the only reason on the side at that point is like, well, you know, Ferentz usually gets guys to bounce back, but it doesn't feel like that same kind of Iowa defense that's going to be able to slow down a very good Washington offense with a pretty good Washington head coach that actually can score some points on you there, Rob. I'm with you. I think the over 2 is not a bad look here. All right, so we got